Hello, Termites. Welcome back to night 68. Seems like just yesterday we started this.
Well, it was for me.
It was, yeah. And look, we're already in the middle of the book. We're to the pictures. I wish you guys could see the pictures, but I can't get to my tripod without spilling my drink. Which what? We're drinking a little high wire vodka from where? Charleston.
Great city.
One of our favorite cities.
Yep.
In all of America. What's that restaurant we like?
Henry's? Something like that.
Henry's.
It begins with a great old bar.
Oysters. Good oysters. Yeah. And good southern stuff.
I think it's Henry's, but it's close. Begins with an H.
That'll work.
Thanks.
So for you super nerdy termites, we're on page 179. I am also one of the nerdy termites when it comes to that. I like to know what page I'm on. Okay, so this is after Glenn and her beat each other up some more, did some more cocaine, beat each other up some more.
She's lost her teeth, front teeth.
Yeah, took a week to get them back put in, caused some major jawline damage. And then turns out he found another woman anyway. So all that fighting wasn't going to be long term.
And he married her.
He married the other lady.
Yeah, and I think an interesting fun fact is that my two front teeth were broken, but were not busted completely out of my head. So these have been capped since I was 11.
Oh.
So Tanya and I, in a sense, share that common bond.
Yeah, except yours weren't ripped out at the root.
No, they weren't.
And no larger person than you took an elbow to them.
No, I was playing football in a basement. Tackle. It was my own stupidity.
All right, so now she's got to realize that all that fighting didn't make any difference in the outcome of the relationship. It had already burned out. So sad. They worked so hard to get themselves together.
Yeah.
I tried to be honest about the breakup. When people asked me about it, I admitted I hadn't wanted it and that I'd have taken him back in a minute. The only thing I tried to cover up was the violence. And I told any journalist who asked that we hadn't fought very much. All those wild stories they'd heard were exaggerations. I guess I was just trying to hang on to that fantasy a little longer.
Fantasy?
Yeah.
That's a big fan. That's a hallucination.
Yeah, I thought she was going to say I didn't want to feel stupid in the press, but she just didn't want to believe it.
Yeah, I mean, but I've only been here for what is this, fourth? Maybe this is the third or the fourth, and they've been beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, there's been quite a few. It's like a 14-rounder. I mean, You get your money's worth out of that fight. When you're in your early 20s, big loves and big heartbreaks hit hard. Following our breakup, I went into a downward spiral spin that almost cost me my career and my sanity. I don't know how sane you are before that. Doing bowls of cocaine and beating each other up.
Yeah, and then wouldn't that be the point where that's usually the point where you do the bowls of cocaine and start drinking?
After it,
yeah.
Right. I went to a big downward spiral. I was about as sorry as anybody could ever want to see. My downtime was not Glenn's fault, though. People are responsible for their own actions and reactions, and I take full responsibility. If there's any reason to talk about this, aside from the fact that it was a portion of my life, it's the lessons I learned. No one except my children will ever take the precedence over my music. I let a relationship with a man almost destroy my music. The thing that I loved and worked for all my life, I've come close to doing it since, but not like with Glenn. And there's a lesson in that for anyone in a detrimental relationship. I'm not sure I've ever trusted love since.
Yep, I would get my pens out because there's some lessons to be learned here. If you have a notepad, Termites, this will serve you in good stead.
We're on chapter 37 now.
That was the only lesson. It was just one real lesson. I thought there were going to be more lessons.
No, that's it.
That was it.
And there's a lesson for anyone in a detrimental relationship. That's it.
I thought there was going to be more.
Nope. That's all she got out of that one.
Please.
You got to live longer, Louis.
Put your pens down.
Yeah, that was a false termite alert.
My fault.
I felt like I was snake bit for several years. I flipped back and forth between hanging around the house and running around to clubs. I spent too much money, and since I'd cut back on performing, I wasn't bringing in much money. It wasn't like I was completely underground, though. There's no end to the events celebrity gets invited to. I don't.
I'm sitting here with you.
Right. This is what we've been invited to be with the Termites.
This was my major event.
Well, we don't like to go anyway.
Yeah. No, actually,
I've been invited to a few things, but they're just, I don't like them. I'd rather just, like, even in Los Angeles, I'd rather be at Barney's, the sports bar.
Yeah.
I'd rather be at Barney's than on any red carpet.
Well, we never sought out that kind of celebrity thing. It was not.
I don't think comedians care. Well, some, but
some
most of us don't. Okay, a lot of new romance type pictures you'd seen in the tabloids are snapped at those events. When those stories about me and some man get into print, I always think, oh Lord, I hope he doesn't think I had anything to do with that hitting the tabloids. For example, I'd known Clint Eastwood from back in the Glen days. Remember when she went up to Clint's Carmel tournament?
Yeah.
When he played at the big golf tournament, the big Crosby tournament, and told me the Coyote Ugly joke. I ran into him again in 1982 at the World Cup ski races in Aspen. He walked into one of the Aspen country bars and I yelled, "Hey, asshole!"
To Clint Eastwood. Here's something.
He laughed.
On the basis of what you've been reading, okay, would you have thought, from all that you've read, that you would be in Aspen at the
World Cup skiing thing? No,
yeah.
I don't see her as a ski race lady.
But you read that. It just is like it's unbelievable. I'm just.
Well, she got around. She seemed to like to go to events.
Well, that's a hell of an event.
I would have thought her more at a rodeo or
exactly.
Right, NASCAR or something.
Yeah.
Hey, asshole! He laughed and we talked a few minutes and then played Donkey Kong until dawn. Now I'm with her on that. If there was a Donkey Kong machine in this house, I could play it. Or Miss Pac-Man, not Mr. Pac-Man. Ms. Pac-Man. Or Space Invaders. A tabloid reporter heard about it, and when we happened to be standing together on the slopes the next day, took our photo. By the time it made to the papers, I'd broken up Clint's long-term love affair with Sondra Locke.
Locklear?
No, Sondra, Sondra.
Yeah.
Locke.
Locklear. Locker.
There's no R.
Locka?
I'd broken up. I heard he sued the Inquirer for $10 million over that story, but I never heard if he collected a penny. I was still jet-setting around, flying to Fort Worth to check out the action at the stockyards. Now that, yes.
Yeah.
That's where I expect her. Even I wouldn't go to the World Cup skiing thing. I don't know anything about that. Do you?
No.
Okay.
And I'm not, and they go up there.
Well, it's cold.
It's cold and, and there's not enough oxygen. And I was smoking.
And it's expensive.
Back then.
Aspen's expensive. Fly to New York to see what was going on at Studio 54. She doesn't need to be there.
But that's at least somewhat understandable.
Yeah, I get it. But I did meet a good lasting friend at Studio 54 in 1982 with whom I had a strictly platonic relationship that the tabloids reported as a romance. Christopher Atkins was a regular in Dallas, and he had starred in The Blue Lagoon and other films. When we met, we talked for a while about the music business, about his career, and how sometimes he wanted to get away all by himself. Although I was spending most of my time in L.A., I was still at our ranch in Nashville a lot of times, so I invited him to come and visit. Well, when you get to feeling that way, come on down and stay and listen to some music. When I left the club, we exchanged phone numbers. Chris did call a few months later. We met in Nashville, and it took him around town for almost a week. My parents really liked him, and they were probably glad to see me doing something they considered normal, like sightseeing. I bet they're very relieved. Sightseeing. People thought Chris and I were sleeping together. Nothing could be further from the truth. He was dating an actress named Cindy Gibb, no relation to Andy, and he was crazy about her. I'm very capable of having men in my life who are strictly friends. Chris was one of those.
Yeah.
Good for her.
No relation to Andy.
Gibb. My sister had his poster. I had Shaun Cassidy. She had Andy Gibb.
Wow.
Yeah. Who picked better? Shaun Cassidy's the director now. I think we know what happened to Andy. Who could see a winner and who couldn't?
What did Shaun Cassidy direct?
All kinds of made-for-TV movies and stuff. Seriously, Google
Really?
it. Yeah. Then on Twitter, he posted something and I answered and he answered me back and I almost had to cancel the rest of my day. I was so excited.
Oh my God.
It kind of, him tweeted me back and my guy, Jim Cantori from the Weather Channel, when he tweeted me back, I was at the Tonight Show. I didn't even want to go do my set. I just wanted to celebrate and show everybody that Jim Cantori tweeted me back. And then all the Weather Channel kids did too. And then they secretly gave me a Weather Channel jacket.
I didn't even get a Weather Channel jacket, and I fucking
You don't express love for them.
I worked it. I was on the Weather Channel. I did, a half hour.
Oh, yeah, well, you should have asked for something.
Well, I'm not
There's a whole gift shop.
Well, there was...
You could have bought it.
No, they could have said...
It's in the CNN part, and it's all the Weather Channel stuff's in there.
No, they could have said, we really enjoyed you being on, and we didn't pay you, so what we'd like to give you is a Weather Channel jacket. We gave one to Kathleen, who didn't even do anything here.
I'll show it to you. It's
pretty
fancy.
I don't want to see it.
Pretty fancy.
There'll be a fight tonight. There'll be a fight.
If we could, we want to start doing cocaine tonight. Yeah. We could start.
Really?
Perhaps it was because the stories covered by me and Glenn, or because of not touring, or maybe because the recordings weren't up to par. But my singles weren't being played very much. You can still hear me on the radio, but it was either it was the earlier releases. I recorded another album for MCA called "Should I Do It," but there were no hit singles. The sessions were pure hell because I was not in a good frame of mind. MCA brought Snuff Garrett back in the picture, which would be my final recording for that label. A 1982 live album made at the Nugget in Vegas. Snuff never mentioned the fact that we dropped him as my producer after the first MCA album, and I didn't either. We concentrated on the country songs, and the album's full of energy, but no singles were released. Dad decided MCA had stopped promoting me, and the label asked the label to release me as an artist. They didn't kick about it either. Those were bad days professionally all around for the Tuckers, because LaCosta's career was in trouble too. That's her sister. I don't know if you were here for that.
I know. I've listened to this before,
right.
so I could be capable of being a part of this.
Even with
I didn't remember her name, actually.
La Costa.
Yeah, but I didn't...
2 words.
Yeah.
Even with that amazing voice, Costa had been having difficulty chart-wise. She felt that a change of producers might help, so she made her next album, Somebody on a Rainy Night Lovin'. Somebody on a Rainy Night Lovin' with Jerry Crutchfield. It was a strong album, but after the title cut hit the top 20, singles started to falter again. Costa didn't have any real management. Bill Carter was trying to help, and Dad stepped in when he could. Dad may have been devastated when Costa fired him, but when she needed his advice, he was right there again. But with my career also in a weird state, he couldn't do much. So he asked Capitol to release her from that contract in 1980, and she signed with Elektra. About the same time I was making my live album, Costa was in the studio recording what she hoped would be an album. Electrica released one single in 1982, and that single was Love, Take It Easy on Me. Love, take it easy. One positive thing that came
Kathleen will be singing that at the end of it.
I'm going to learn it after we watch Hard Country. Yeah. One positive thing that came from the breakup with Glenn was that I decided to try my own hand at songwriting. Not that long after we split, I played a show in New Orleans with Eddie Raven, and while I was there, I talked to Eddie about some lyrics and a melody for a song about life passages in general, and Glenn in particular. I wanted it to be titled Changes. Eddie and I threw some ideas around, then we both went on our way. It didn't get finished until I was in the studio recording my next album on a new label. I feel like she's got a little breathing time, getting away from Glenn.
Yeah, and she seems to have...
well, it's going to be a come down.
Well, slow kind of, she seems to have slowed down here, and there's really not much mention of her creative process.
Well, I think she just heard it. She goes up to some other guy and goes, what do you think about this? And then she leaves.
I was thinking of doing this thing about Glenn and changes.
Changes?
Yeah.
Love, take it easy on me.
I wonder maybe in the next chapter, which I'm excited to hear, the next time I'm sitting in, that I'll find out about what that song is. But
yeah, I think we'll get it. We're almost done, too. Well, I mean, it's going to be a few more nights for sure, but we're about 2/3 of the way through. All right, Termites says, still have these Lewis and I are going to sign. I haven't checked all of the comments. If anybody wants one and you're not afraid to put your address publicly on my Instagram, I won't share it with anybody. And the other termites won't bother you. There's no termites that are going to come stalk you.
Yeah, there's no...
I can't promise 100% safety, but I think it's pretty safe.
I can't imagine.
Well, you don't even have to put your real name. Just put an address. Sometimes I send CDs to Monkeyballs 42. I don't care. Just the address is real. It works. All right, termites. You're worthy, termites.
You're very worthy.
Do you have anything else you want to tell the termites?
I just said it's great to be spending time with you as opposed to just being inside my head, wandering around in the hallways, and with Mama Termite, who has always been really Mama Termite to me. Well, not really.
What are we going to read next?
Really? What do you?
I don't know. I'm done with this book.
I think
The way people are behaving.
I think Mein Kampf, My Sorrow, it's right up your alley. You've always been kind of a.
I have
Maybe
a lot
what's the?
I have a lot of World War II books.
Right, those are the ones. Those are the ones you can read. Not Mein Kampf. That was just a throwaway.
Yeah, that was a throwaway.
Yeah.
All right, termites. Get your summer sheet. Get your best pillowcase. Tuck your little heads on it. Just get super comfortable. Turn off that television. It's time for night-night now. Tell yourself you're a worthy termite. You're a good termite. Even if you were bad today, it's all right. You're still a good termite.
Yeah, they could watch that show, actually.
My mom told me about this show, World on Fire. World on Fire.
Yeah.
It's on Prime. It's really good. It's about 5 different families in World War II, and then what goes on through that. Sometimes my parents' recommendations are good, and sometimes they're a little left field. This is
one's
one
a good
of their
one.
better ones. Yep. So you can do that, and put your sunblock on, termites. A lot of you don't want skin. We don't want termites with skin cancer. It's getting hot out there. It's summertime. Put yourself to sleep, and we'll see you next time. And on the count of 3, we sign off. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Night, termites.